Any parent who's ever adopted a child will tell you how rewarding it can be. But they'll also tell you it can be frustrating dealing with all the red tape, especially with babies born in foreign countries. When one couple hit a wall in their adoption process, they decided to take some time off and think things through. That's when a miracle came along, in the form of a kindly, gray-haired lady. In 1983, Dawn and Carol Kalenda adopted their first child, Paul, from South Korea.
We decided to adopt because Dawn and I couldn't have children of our own. We didn't care where the child came from, what country or nationality. We just knew that we wanted to be a family and adopt.
We went ahead and applied, and within 3 months, our son Paul arrived, and we were real happy and began to grow as parents do.
This car's gonna race now. You wanna start?
Paul's adoption went so smoothly that when he was 3, the Kalendas decided to adopt a second Korean child.
Hello?
Hello, this
We went through a different adoption agency. They hadn't done very many foreign adoptions, so we were kind of like the pioneers for them. And since we had already been through it before, we knew what to expect.
That's wonderful.
The new agency quickly approved them and assigned them a 2-month-old child.
Dawn, that was the agency. They've assigned us a little girl.
A few days later, they received a package of immigration forms along with a photo.
Oh, look at that.
As soon as we saw the picture, it was like an instant love.
She's adorable.
We just thought, oh, there she is. That's what she looks like. And you start thinking, well, gosh, I just can't wait till she gets here.
Let's see, we gotta fill out some papers.
They completed the necessary paperwork and, based on their previous experience, expected to be contacted within 2 weeks. But the call never came.
When we didn't hear anything, we decided to call the agency.
Yes, hi, this is Don Collanda. I'm calling about the adoption papers that my wife and I filled out a little while ago. I was just wondering if there was any kind of an update or any more information that you might have for us.
And they told us that it was fine, these things take time and not to worry about it. So we waited another couple of weeks and became even more anxious because we knew that something was wrong.
But each time they spoke with the agency, they were given the same runaround.
No, sir, everything is really under control.
They were like, just relax, everything's going to be fine. There's nothing you need to do, and don't call us, we'll call you.
Okay, thank you for calling.
And so that's when we became very frustrated and decided that we couldn't stand it anymore waiting in Oklahoma City.
And so we decided to go to a little pond with cabins and see if we could find an answer.
But after a day in the country, no answer had been received.
I don't know if it's doing us much good just to stay up here.
I know.
And so they decided to return home the next day.
Right. How about tomorrow morning?
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
But when Carol awoke the next morning, to her surprise, Dawn was nowhere to be found.
I looked around, Dawn wasn't there in the room.
Dawn? Dawn!
So I got up and went over to the window and pulled back the drape and looked out. And I could see Don sitting there with his legs hanging over the dock, and he was talking with someone. So I didn't think anything of it. I thought, well, I'm still kind of tired. I'll lay back down. So I tossed and turned a bit, and I waited about 15 minutes, and he didn't come back.
Carol got dressed and went to the window again to see what was delaying her husband.
When I looked this time, they were very close together, and they looked like they were in a very deep, engrossing conversation. I thought that was a little strange, seeing as Don didn't know this woman, and I didn't know this woman.
Carol was beginning to get annoyed.
Paul,
She woke up Paul and started getting ready to leave.
let's go. We're going. Hurry up.
So I got stuff in the suitcase, and about 15 minutes later, I decided he's not back yet. Where is he? So I looked out again, and I thought, surely he's not still out there talking to the same woman. And here he was, he had moved to a bench, and this time he had his back to this little lady. And it looked like she was whispering something into his ear. And I thought, well, that's really strange of Don. First, he's too intimate with this woman, and now he's over there and he's being totally rude to her. That's so unlike him. What's wrong with him?
Getting even angrier, Carol packed up the last of their belongings and got Paul ready to go.
So I went to the door, and there was Don standing there by himself.
Are you all packed?
Yeah.
And he said, oh, you got everything all packed and ready? I said, yeah, I got it all packed and ready. Let's just put Paul in the car and let's go.
I think it was a good trip, honey. I feel really good about it.
Good.
So we're driving down the road, and Carol was being really quiet, and that's unusual.
What's wrong?
I don't know.
I tried a couple times to try to get her to talk, and she was just real short.
Well, something's eating you.
Yeah, something is.
Well, what is it?
Who was that woman that you were sitting with this morning on the dock?
What?
I was just totally taken off guard because I didn't know what she was talking about.
And I said, I saw the lady, Don, that you were talking to. It's just a little short, gray-haired camper type lady. I know what I saw. I looked out 3 different times.
So I pulled over the car and tried to get composure because I'd never been in a situation where I've been accused of something I haven't done.
I was by myself. I wasn't talking with anyone.
The hair started standing up on my arms and back of my neck.
I was talking to myself, and I was praying.
You were praying. And there was no one there.
I could feel the goosebumps on my arms. I could just feel like something out of the ordinary happened.
Then who did I see?
And I said, well, Carol, I don't know what you saw, but I know what I have to do. I know what we need to do.
I feel like I know what to do now.
Don had received the answer he'd been looking for. But who was the mysterious woman that Carol saw at the lake? When Don and Carol Kalenda tried to adopt a baby girl from Korea, they became frustrated with delays by their adoption agency. They retreated to a lakeside cabin to try to come up with a solution to their problem. While there, Carol saw Don speaking to a strange woman by the lake. But when asked who the woman was, Don said he had been alone, praying about what they should do next. And he had received an answer.
I feel like we should call the International Adoption Agency.
That's going over their heads.
I know it is.
That was a risky thing to do. When you're adopting, it's just not the thing to do to not use your local adoption agency for all your correspondence. And I thought maybe it could make them mad, and they have every right to pull the adoption right out from underneath us. But we discussed it on the way home, and I could see how joyful and peaceful he was, and I knew that something miraculous had happened.
Monday morning came, and we called the agency in Oregon.
Hello?
Yes, hello. My name is Don Kalenda. I'm calling about an international adoption.
Let me transfer you to the right person.
Okay, thanks.
And they patched me through, and the lady said, hi, my name's Judy.
Hi, Judy. My name is Don Kalenda. I'm calling about an international adoption.
And I said, we're anxiously awaiting news of when our daughter's coming. And she said,
I'll call the agency in Korea, and I'll get back with you right away.
Okay. Thank you, Judy. She said she was going to call Korea and call us back.
A half hour later, she called back and said there had been a glitch, that it was in Korea, and they did find our paperwork, and it had been misplaced.
And everything's in order, and you're going to get your baby on Saturday.
Oh, that's terrific. Thank you so much for your help.
I'm so happy for you.
All right, I'll talk to you soon. There was a paper in the wrong place. They fixed it, and she said she should be here by Saturday.
Saturday?
I was so excited that just the 4 days before, we knew nothing, and now she was going to be in our arms. That was quite a miracle.
it's hard to wait, isn't it?
Yes, it's hard to wait.
On Saturday, Dawn and Carol flew to Los Angeles, where they videotaped the arrival of the newest member of their family, Jackie Kalenda.
When she put her in my arms, it was just like home. Everybody in the airport disappeared at that moment besides Jackie. It was wonderful. I knew everything was going to be all right then.
It was just wonderful, just to see how happy my wife was, and to see that our daughter was in our arms, and to see that a picture was actually a person. And then to see her smiling at me was just, oh, a father's joy.
I think she loves you, Paul.
When Dawn and Carol finally arrived home with the baby, there was one more thing they felt they needed to do. Personally thank Judy for all her help.
We were going to phone some flowers to Judy, because she was an answer to prayer.
Hello, adoption agency.
Yes, hi.
Can I speak to Judy, please?
And they said, Judy who? And I said, I don't know. That's all I know is Judy. And they said, well, sir, there's never been a Judy at this office.
Well, are you sure? I just spoke to her last week. She helped us with our adoption. She called Korea for us.
Sir, there's no
Judy here. And they said, there's never been a Judy at this office. And even if there was a Judy, she couldn't give you information over the phone.
Yeah, okay, thanks.
And so I hung up the phone and I told Carol.
Carol, they say there's no one there named Judy.
Well, there has to be. Who called Korea then?
I don't know.
We decided that the woman on the dock must have been an angel, and the lady that we spoke to in Oregon must have been an angel.
Were they the same angel or two different angels? Carol Calenda has her own theory.
I think that this happened out of prayer. We were at a point that we could not fix this problem. God was aware of the problem, and I think he answered our prayer in the form of an angel telling Dawn what to do. Then when we did call the agency, I think that she was able to find out what the problem was and get it solved. But the biggest miracle of all is just having Jackie for our daughter. That's the biggest miracle.
It looks like somebody really wanted that adoption to go through.